Hello people and welcome back to the channel. Thanks for joining me for another video, and it really is just another video trying to keep up with the insanity that we are seeing. So in this video, it's basically the video is about Shabana Mahmood's plan to destroy Britain, along with the Home Office, the government, Keir Starmer, Labour, the Tories have all played their part, and now we're seeing the end result. This is not culture enrichment. This is not refugees. They're gaslighting people. That this is, since when did endless streams, endless amounts of young fighting age men, since when was that ever refugees? When was that ever refugees? And I've said it before and I'll say it again. Since, let's say, for example, boats have been getting used by man for over 10,000 years. So for over 10,000 years, the fact has been you see foreign men rolling up, rocking up, washing ashore on your shores in boats. They're here to take over. They're not here to culturally enrich you. They're not here for anything other than to overtake and overthrow and invade you. That's it. But all of a sudden now, these gaslighting demons want us to believe, oh, it's culture enrichment, diversity. The refugees, these poor young fighting age men who should actually be in the apparent wars, have to flee them, and they're so weak and innocent and frail that they have had to flee their country and leave their women and children to fight the wars. This is the insanity. So let's get more to the point. Shabana Mahmood and the Home Office have came out and basically stated that they're legalising illegal immigration. So what they're going to do is just basically rewrite the law and create a new route for them to get here legally. And this is a trend you'll see. So it just basically becomes that there is no such thing as illegal immigration, and that if you, as soon as you enter the country, you can just become a citizen. That's the reality of where we're going. You've already seen that happening in Spain, and this is how it happens. They change laws that are way too migrant friendly for anybody's good. And it just basically means that, that this is what it is. You can read it, it's there if you want to read it, but that's the bottom line. They're just changing the laws to make illegal immigration legal and finding ways to house them. And then also, they've legalised homelessness, which is going to encourage, at this stage, more of them to come, and you will see tent cities popping up around you. So let's just say in the next 6 months to a year, not only are they going to be moving in houses all around you, getting all the new luxury houses, they're getting priority on the housing. Everybody knows this. If there's not enough housing and there's too many comes in, they can just sleep in tents until we get them for them. That's the reality of what's happening. And this is just a video to show you, when is it classed as an invasion? When do you actually say, okay, this is not refugees? When do people wake up and say, this is not refugees, this is not culture enrichment, this is this is colonizing a country, is it colonialism? And when do you say, right, we're being completely duped here? Because just look at this. So this video just shows you the amount of immigrants. So there's the numbers, there's the time period, and just look. I mean, when is this classed as an invasion, people? When? There is millions and millions and millions of people who are leaving all of their countries to come here, and it's not stopping. This is the problem. It is not stopping. You see, that's where the problem comes. This country will always offer sanctuary to those in need, but we must also restore order and control our borders. So there's a complete contradictory statement, right? This is how much they gaslight you and just say whatever they want, right? But what we know what the lie is, and we know what the truth is in that statement, that it'll always be open to anybody, right? But they will not restore order at the borders. We know that's a lie. So this is just shows you the gaslighting that they just continually throw out. And, you know, she's also announced that any a new system also on top of this where they can just come in, and that she's creating laws to allow them to come in. She's taking it out of the hands of judges and putting it in the hands of public to decide who gets to stay and who doesn't stay. That, you know, sounds pretty crazy in itself, but when you also understand they will be handpicking the people that they want to judge it. Mark my words. And we know the people they'll be picking to accept immigrants to stay. And then here, this is what Shabana Mahmood thinks of British people who like to put a flag up.
You know, the people that you see holding the English flag most of the time down my neck of the woods will be the EDL, and they are white and they are male and they're bad people and they want to divide our community.
So, if you're a white male and you want to raise your country's flag, you're a bad person and you want to divide your country, okay? But if you are from a foreign country and you like to wave a foreign flag, that's fine. That doesn't cause division. That's totally acceptable to come into a country and fly another country's flag. But you're a racist if you want to fly your own flag. This is what you call a hatred for white people. This is what you're seeing, right? British flag represents white. You know, the white. Can you get any more white than British? You know, English language, etc. No. And then this is a guy explaining a bit more about how the public is going to decide on who gets to stay and who doesn't, and who's illegal and who isn't. So let's watch.
Shabana Mahmood, who shouldn't be anywhere within the United Kingdom, she should be the poster face of remigration because she should go home. She has announced that asylum seekers are now going to receive their appeals by members of the public rather than immigration judges. So that means members of the public who are not trained in jurisprudence or law. They're just going to be deciding cases. But who do you think Shabana Mahmood is going to choose to adjudicate these cases? Let's remember what Shabana Mahmood looks like. Yeah, she's Pakistani. She's not even British. She's going to choose her friends, Pakistanis. She's going to choose other Muslims. She's going to choose people who vote for the Green Party, who vote for the Labour Party, people who hate anything to do with sovereignty. Patriots will not be included in this. Members of Reform, members of Restore, they won't be included in this. But let me say one thing. This is my word of advice to the British public. If you are a person without an online presence, if you're under the radar about the way you feel about things, if you are somebody who wants to see the invaders deported but don't publicly talk about it, sign up for this scheme. So that way, every single asylum seeker that comes across your desk, you reject and you send them back.
That is quite a funny idea. Like, everybody that's white and British should register for this, and let's see if we can all get in, and actually we can decide, because that would be great. But I really can't see it being that simple. Can you? I can see they want me to lay it out how I see it. So they've encouraged this scheme where basically you get encouraged to bring in migrants, house migrants, and you get paid, I think it's $350 per month per person, right? So each migrant you take in your house, you get paid £350. So what's going to end up happening here is they're going to basically be bringing an immigrant. So let's say my name's Abdul and I just got a citizenship. I was a refugee. I came over on a boat. I got my citizenship. Now I've got a house. Oh, well, I've got a family over in Afghanistan. I'll happily bring them over and get paid to bring them over. So I can bring my family over, friends over, or cousins over. I can house them and also get paid for it, right? And then who decides whether they get to stay or not? Another cousin, another Islamic person. Do you see how it's going to work? Yeah, this is how I see it and other people see. It's all just a complete... It's just compiling on the betrayal and the invasion.
No matter what. Reject, reject, reject. You see, oh yeah? Where do you come from? Somalia? Oh yeah, I can see by the shape of your head. Going home. Where do you come from? The Congo? Oh, yeah, yeah. Going home. Central African Republic. Isn't that where they raped a 2-month-old, two-year-old baby the other day? That was the migrant who did that. He was from Central African Republic. You're from the same country. Going home. Going home. Send them back. This is a disgusting system.
Yep.
This is just another way to make sure that nobody's ever deported. And of course, why would you expect anything different from a Pakistani who thinks she's British? They all got to go back. Every single last one of them. This is a scam.
Yep, it's a scam, and he sums it up. Like I said to you, Abdul, who's got asylum, just think of all the immigrants that are here, and they've got housing, all the priority in the housing, they got all the benefits, right? They can now turn around and say, oh, Abdul the second, third, fourth and fifth, on yous come, we're getting paid to keep yous. And then we can decide if you stay or not. This is what's going to happen, people. This is what's coming. And do you not believe what I'm saying in the angle I'm coming at? Well, let's see what is most important to the British, supposed the Pakistani, not British, right? She's not British, she's Pakistani, and she is in charge of the borders and who gets to come in or not. Let's listen to what's most important to her.
Islam, my own religion, like a lot of practicing Muslims, my faith is the most important thing in my life. It is the absolute driver of everything that I do. I feel a very strong calling of my own conscience, and my conscience calls me to God. That is how Islam, my own religion.
Yeah, so I think that answers it quite clearly what matters to her most. Yeah, and everything we're seeing, and I've said to you. And then also there's the you know, this is just one aspect of what's wrong with her, and you know, I'm just trying to not make it too complicated, but there's even other videos where she's helping refugees break into countries. There's a video, there's videos of it, right? And then here's a bit more about Shabana. Mahmood offers £350 a month to anyone who wants to house illegal immigrants. So now they can just get citizenship and house each other. Do you see how this is another way to just keep it coming, keep it coming, keep it coming? Enable a system to let them come in, right? Pay immigrants to keep their cousins and their family and bring them into the country. And then also it's going to be Islamic people or people of the same type that are deciding whether they get to stay or not. So we can see where that's going to go, people. We can see where it's going to go.
Is that they are going to announce a new Ukrainian-style sponsorship scheme, so for households or for communities who want to allow asylum seekers to come and live with them. And Chloe, you were looking into this, and you think that you can actually make money from this?
Yeah, well, I'm not sure it's going to be loads. I think you get 350 quid a month typically if you take in a Ukrainian, which, to be honest, is not much money given that, I mean, in London, at least you can rent out the spare bedroom for £1,000 plus.
Yes.
But I think a lot of people did this out of goodwill. And I mean, it's not really too much of a gamble taking on a Ukrainian refugee. They've got a culture very similar to ours. I think the likelihood of a Ukrainian living in your house, you know, suddenly launching on you with a machete or raping you, I think is quite small. To only get 350 quid a month to take on the risk of potentially having, you know, a fighting age male from Afghanistan living with you who could, you know, comes from a very different culture, I don't think it's worth it. So
is that they are going to...
Yeah, so that's the thing. Who in their right mind as a British citizen, knowing what we know about these cultures and countries, is going to do that? Nobody is going to do that. Even most of your lefties will not do it, right? They know the danger these people present, but they want them in because they want to destroy the monarchy, they want to destroy, you know, is it the patriarchy or whatever? They want to destroy everything. So if the immigrants come in, the lefties are happy. But as long as they're not in danger, you see, once they start getting put in danger, they're not wanting anything to do with it. So the bottom line is, right, I guarantee you little to no British people will go on board with this. Only the extremely insane British people will get on board with it, and then they'll find out the hard way and there will be problems. But what I'm saying is, the only people that will go for this system that's being presented is other immigrants. So we can see it's all a scam, it's all a fraud, and it's all part of furthering the invasion of Britain. If you can't see that, then by now, you'll never see how corrupt the country is and the world is and what we're up against. So this is just one part of the insanity in a long list. This is, like I said, a drop in the ocean, but it's just highlighting how corrupt and occupied our establishment is. So I'm going to end the video there, and hopefully you learn something from it and it put things in perspective just how crazy the world is right now and what we're up against. So until the next time, take it easy.